Alright, so this is an already started Spellplague cavern, but we're at the very beginning. We all just got killed by this big golem creature down here. He is really the only enemy in the dungeon I ever really had to worry about. I don't know if he's still alive, because I'm still getting back to the group. They probably killed him by now, but coincidentally, I managed to get into a random with somebody in the Alliance who was just calling for a random group. I was going to record, so I decided not to join a group with anybody. But I guess it doesn't matter. So you see that little fire brazier right there, with the little portal above it, a little spinning portal. So that's what spawns enemies in the first half, or the first third of the dungeon. Each section of the dungeon has its own little piece that will spawn enemies. See them right there? If you run too close to them, the fire braziers will turn on, they'll spin up, and they'll spawn. So, now usually it's not that bad. It will irritate people though if you just run around and start trying to spawn the enemies. People don't like it. So, it used to be, I think, an achievement. I don't know if it still is, to get through this dungeon, having only opened like 5 or 6 portals. Most people don't even know about it, so they don't care. But if you ever get a group together and you want to try it, try to get the achievement, then that's how you do it. So this is the capstone of the Cloaked Ascendancy campaign. It is also a regular leveling dungeon, so they really just reused it for the for this campaign, and they added the Cloaked Ascendancy bosses into it. It's not really hard anymore. Cabal at the start of this is invulnerable, can't be hurt. You need your tank to attack him, so if you are a tank, you do want to attack him, and just to keep aggro. And enemies will spawn right here at this anvil, and you have to make him vulnerable. And we'll show you what that means here in just a second. So he will put a chain when he says that right there. You see this chain right here? It does damage to the 2 people linked to it. And when you kill these smaller golems, like we just killed right there, it leaves a little fireball behind. In order to break that chain, you have to let the fireball cook it for a couple of seconds. The bigger golems spawn this fireball that you drag over to the boss. Right now it's stuck on something. There we go, it's moving. And when that fireball hits the boss becomes vulnerable. It's about to hit him. You'll see. There it is. Now he can be damaged by regular attacks. So every time he does this teleportation thing, he will light up lava on the ring that he's not in. See, there's an outer ring and there's an inner ring, separated by this row right here. So if he teleports to the inner ring, you need to get to the inner ring. If he teleports to the outer ring, you need to get to the outer ring. Aggro is kind of messed up on this boss. Something to think about. If you're a tank, sometimes you just end up losing aggro. It's not really your fault. So don't feel bad if it happens. Like, I just got hit by the boss even though the guy has aggro. The tank has aggro. So it may look like the fight is about over, but it's really just starting. This boss has 3 different phases, 3 different health bars. The first one is over. See the suits of armor? There's 1 suit right there, there's 1 suit right there. And there was 1 right there, that's the first one. So the little fireball goes into another suit of armor and the fight starts over again. Now nothing is different He's not any more powerful than he used to be, but now he will summon really more of the adds will come off the anvil. You see, we have the chain, but we don't have anything to break it with. So this chain used to do a lot of damage. Now it doesn't really do much. But when you get the chain, you just wait on the Hellthorn, I think. Hellthorn Golem. There he is. Yep, the Hellthorn Golem. You wait on him. As soon as you kill him, you hover your chain over the ball. As you see, melts it, breaks the chain. The larger Hellthorn Golem spawns the fireball that connects to you. That takes precedence. Dragging the fireball over to the boss takes precedence over breaking your chains. So if you get the chain, the ball, go straight for the boss. Don't waste any time. As you see, these two people have had their chains connecting each other for a while, just because they haven't had a chance to break it over this, which now they will. So at the end of the second phase, there's a little bit different of a thing that happens, which we'll get to. It happens when he gets down to about 5% health. It has to get pretty low for it to happen to you. Oh. He's about to do it now. And he'll do that right there, and he'll teleport up here. He's going to connect chains to everybody. So when this happens, you ignore the boss at this point. You only kill the enemies surrounding him. Each one of these flame X's will spawn a fireball that you can break your chain over. Now, breaking the chains over these fireballs is a little difficult sometimes, because your chain's not really going through it, as you can see, but it's still broken. And at this point, you just stay away from the boss, because he's going to explode, and that's what will happen if you have your chain still connected to you. He will pull everybody right next to him inside this little bitty inner circle, and then he'll explode, and that'll kill everybody. And the third round, there is nothing different at all. No special thing in the middle or anything like that. It is just the same as the first round, but many more adds. You don't have to pay as much attention to them as you used to. But they can kill some DPS if they pile up around them. Particularly the swords, the spinning sword guys, or the spinning axes. They can kill some DPS. Now, you're still immune to damage right now, as you see. You haven't got the golem that will break his immunity yet. That guy's got it, but he's not. He needs to drag that over to the boss. So it can be kind of like be tricky sometimes to break your chain, because if both people are trying to break the chain at the same time, you'll end up walking around and missing the chain. There's one of his other attacks. He hits a chain on you, attaches it to you, and pulls you in for a hit. Looks like the ads are done, so this is just going to be the regular fight from here on out. Remember, see him standing on the outer ring, so get out of the inner ring. He's in the inner ring. And that is it for the first boss. And it'll explode right here in a second. Knock these people down. And we got no drops. Alright, that is the first arm of the dungeon. They are, or I don't know, I wouldn't call it an arm because there's more than two. But that's the first part. There's two others. This is the second one, obviously. So you see the little stone right there with the glowing light in between them? Those are your new portals. So if you get too close to them, they will spawn enemies. Sometimes it's unavoidable. There are some that are sitting there and it's unavoidable. They're going to spawn enemies. Like I said, try not to get too close. You don't want to be that guy that spawns them and everybody's like looking at you. As you can see, we're basically spawning every group of them. There used to be more. There's not as many anymore. When they redid the dungeons, it's had a lot more enemies in it. It got too close. This is about as close as you can get. You don't need to get any closer than this to one from where I'm standing to that one. You just got to eyeball it. Once you get more familiar with it, you'll know how close you can get. But that one could have been completely avoided if he had walked around like this. He could have walked just like that and then gotten to that thing. He doesn't seem to care about spawning the portals. I'm not one of those people that cares either. If somebody wants to spawn all the portals, that's fine. I like killing stuff. So I'm good with that. We can skip all these if we just stick to this left side. But I think he looks like he's spawning them on purpose. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So really aren't any enemies that are like the guy in the first part that you didn't see because I had not started the recording yet. I didn't know I needed one. And then I found out I didn't have one for this dungeon yet. Somebody went back to spawn something. The rogue. See the rogue right there? He's probably the one you got to worry about the most. He's got really high armor penetration, so he'll get you. See this one? You walk along this wall, you won't open it up, but we opened it. So if you're a warlock healer and you're watching this for the first time, you're like, why is he using the claw power thing? Well, it's just because it knocks people down. I'm not going to do a lot of damage, but sometimes it's nice to just knock people over. It helps. Tristan's going to grab everybody, which is fine if we can survive. Looks like we can. And that is what a lot of tanks will do. They will run and they'll grab every enemy in this room and they'll pull them really right to right here where I'm standing, and they'll just fight all of them at once. We're a little bit low on DPS. Looks like maybe this bare knuckles guy that keeps running ahead and opening up all the portals, it looks like he might be the primary DPS of the group. You can check, I guess. It's not really. Nope, he's not. Wow, we're just kind of low on DPS. I guess it's something you learn as you play. We should have burned down Trobriand much faster than we did. But it's not a bad thing because I want you to see all the different pieces of the dungeon. So we are just about to the second boss. It's right at the top of this hill right here. See the lightning bolts coming down from the sky there a second ago? That is a very devastating attack that you have to watch out for in the next part. This right here was a set of the new enemies you're about to start fighting. Second boss. This used to be the guy that broke the dungeon for everybody. You couldn't beat the second boss because he'd knock you off the side. And they changed that to where now when he knocks you off the side, you just appear back in the middle. You used to be dead for good. So, the eye, turn away from him or stand behind him when he does the eye, or you will get turned to stone. And it lasts a pretty good amount of time. You cannot avoid this attack unless you're outside the red. It doesn't really do a lot of damage until he gets stronger. As you see, he gets taller. And the taller he gets, the more powerful he becomes. Now you see that little circle right there? When you see the circle that pulses light, or pulses outwards, that is the one that pushes everyone away from him. He does it all throughout the fight. I'll do it again in just a second. When he does that, you want to stand on the interior of the circle. Let him jump. Now you skipped it this time. I wish you wouldn't have because I'm trying to show y'all. Alright, he's going to do it again. So you want to stand on the interior of the circle, closer to the bigger side of the platform, because he pushes everybody away. And if you're standing next to the edge, he'll push you off the side. Alright, I guess now I need to start healing people. Alright, so, in order to make him get smaller, it's not overly difficult. You have to aim that eye into one of these mirrors. So if you're the tank, now which I let him get killed right there because I'm just not, I'm more concerned doing this video than I am healing at the moment. But you gotta aim him into one of those mirrors and he will turn himself to stone. See that claw attack right there? Where he uses both of his claws and swings his arms in? That is a cleave attack. It'll hit everybody around him. So you don't want to stand next to the tank. That can kill you. Alright, so see this down here? Don't just jump. Don't just walk over there and just jump and fall off the side. You use the power down there on the bar. You target the end side of the platform and you click. Don't do a regular jump. Don't walk off the side. Do anything silly. You will die. You'll fall off and everybody will be like, that's that guy. He didn't know what he was doing. So, don't let that be you. Now we're on our way to the third boss. The portals now are little mushrooms. They change in each section. So now the portals are these little mushrooms. Now the attacks to watch out for come from these two enemies, the Grove Keeper and the Thornbow. The lightning coming down from the sky is from the, I can't remember the name now, the one that doesn't have the bow, the Grove Keeper, I think is what it's called. And then the other one shoots arrows up in the sky and they come down on top of you. The arrow one is simple to avoid. You just walk out of the red circle. The Grove Keeper, on the other hand, it's a reactive power. Every time you hit them, you get a bolt of lightning on you. And that one does a lot of damage and can kill you very quickly. Healers beware here. People will die fast from the lightning bolt. See how much damage he's taking? So you should focus on the Grove Keepers first, and then the Thorn Bows, and then everybody else. If you see the little Nordic or Nothic stone eyes, they will turn you to stone. So if you get the, oh my goodness, we're grabbing a lot of mobs right now. So if you see the red eye, just turn around. I'm turned to stone right now. My arrows are just dropping on my head. But the Grove Keepers and the Thorn Bows are the ones that are doing all the damage to us. And in order to pass through this part, you need to pick up all the books. There was one up there, there's one right there, there's one here, one there, and there's one down these steps. See the little portal? It's the mushrooms. You walk too close to it, you got to see good. Most people set that one off. It's hard not to when you're fighting sometimes in this spot. It's a small platform. And the last book's right here. So any chest that you see in here is a mimic. Just expect it to be a mimic. And particularly the first chest will drop a key. And a key will get you into this place right back here. See it right here? It requires the shifting key. Now we didn't pick it up. But if you ever come together in a group, you put private group or something like that, and you want to mess with them, you can go in there and fight a special boss. Doesn't drop anything. There's nothing special about them. I mean, other than the fact that it's a completely ridiculous fight. But I'm just trying to get everybody to run ahead. Nobody was paying attention. So now they're back. Now the group's just split up. You don't have to open any of these portals. You can weave right through these portals until you get to about right here. This one's always a good one to open because people just end up getting too close to it, and it opens anyway. So there's really no reason to try not to open that one. But we like opening all the portals, so that's what we're doing. As I said before, always go after the Grove Keepers and the Thorn Bows first. Nobody wants to go get those guys? I can't believe it. There we go. Tristan didn't let me down. And this is the final boss. There's a trick here with a curse. The Warlock used to be able to do this curse also. They can't do it anymore. It's not a big deal, but you should know what it looks like. Since there's a lot of new players, you may not know what it looks like anymore. Or people may not know what it looks like. But if you've done Spellplague and you unlocked a dungeon the normal way, you will already know what it looks like, because this would have already happened to you when you go to Nostura's Castle. So a lot of people will have seen Lair of the Mad Maze before Spellplague Caverns. A lot of Arcturia's attacks come from her. So at 10%, she disappears and she spawns these little gates right here. Stay out of the center, come stand in between a couple of gates and let them all fire off, and then go back in to fight again. Well, that's the only time she will do that and stop everything. Alright, see, she's got the little stone eye thing. So in this fight, you can't, you used to be able to turn around at the other guy. You can't turn around anymore. You have to actually, or you can't get behind him anymore. You have to turn completely around. So when she does this, people have to destroy these tentacles. She can't be hurt during this phase. You have to destroy the tentacles. And when you destroy the tentacles, people go through the portals that are gone now. And these little fires spawn. And it's just like when you fought her in Nostura's Bay Castle in the River District. Alright, you see this little power right here? Now, if you stand behind the tank will take the damage from this power instead of you. So once the people go through the portals and they destroy the fires won't appear till after you destroy tentacles. And once people destroy the fires, here's the curse. As you see, it's hovering over my head. Now this does a damage over time effect that will kill everyone. No healer can heal it. It's just going to kill everyone. The only way to get rid of it is to let her turn you to stone. Just like this. You stand here and you let her turn you to stone. And then it'll get rid of the curse. Here it is. It's gone. Curse gone. There's this bare knuckles guy. Come on. I gotta call out for help. Nobody got him back up. I think that guy was turned to stone. As you see, he's running over to destroy the other fire. All the fires are destroyed. Now we can fight her again. So that's the last time she'll do that phase. She'll do that twice, and then it's just a fight from here on out. But watch the curse. There she goes. She just cursed somebody. I can't see who she actually cursed. Alright, she cursed him. So the curse will spread. If you get close to somebody, that curse will spread. When she does that power, you need to let it hit you. He didn't, he's going to die. Especially now. So when she does this, you got to destroy the fires around. He just spread the curse. That guy has no idea what he's doing. Okay, I'm going to bring him back. You've got to destroy these fires to make the portals appear, because this big thing right here is going to explode. Once you go through there, you can't be hurt. This was a very ugly run. Oh, we got it. And that is Spellplague. Alright. This used to be where the fragment, or it still is, where the fragmented key of stars dropped. It used to be a best in slot artifact. It is just garbage now. Look at that, I got a purple artifact. Hey, the key for this dungeon is in the Storm King Thunder campaign. Don't ask me why they did that, but just make it. You can also buy this key at the docks in the River District. There's a little vendor that stands at the end of a dock. If you go talk to him, you can buy the key, and it's actually cheaper if you buy it there. But if you buy it there, it uses the River District currency instead of the Storm King Thunder currency. Ooh, these used to be awesome too. Now they're just and so did this guy. This right here used to net you like 350k AD at green, and now he's useless. He's probably not worth 350 AD anymore. Alright, I couldn't get a fragmented key of stars, but I checked it. Sometimes she'll drop it too. So, not this time. And there you go. That is Spellplague Caverns. I'll post it up here in a couple of days, I guess.